Starting route to Flamingo Visitor Center, Everglades National Park. Head north on Southeast 1st Avenue.
Day 2 in the Everglades. Let's go. One of my primary reasons for heading to Flamingo Point was for the potential opportunity to photograph an osprey. My online research indicated that osprey were nesting in the area. This fine-looking raptor was waiting for me as soon as I walked up to the pier area, and the warm morning light added to my good fortune. He then relocated to another tree and gave me full cooperation as I was able to capture several more shots. I then took a stroll around the docks and found this pelican who posed for me at the end of a small dock, which gave me a great leading line to this big-billed bird. Leaving the marina area, I drove a short way to a nearby campground that had access to the shoreline. Here I spotted an immature white ibis waiting on the beach looking for morsels. Little did I know that I was about to get a nice surprise as this osprey came flying in with some strange cargo in its talons. At first I thought it was collecting nesting material, but once I was able to review the photo I noticed it was hanging onto part of a fish. Speaking of nesting material, this osprey was headed back to its nest, which ended up being only about 20 yards away. What started out as a great day for osprey just got better. Although the light was somewhat harsh, I couldn't resist the opportunity to watch this pair of osprey for a while. Although I fired off dozens of shots, I would find myself letting go of the camera and just admiring these beautiful birds in their natural environment. Moments like these are why I do photography, and clicking the shutter is just a way for me to remember my adventures in nature. Well, I spent the morning down at Flamingo Point chasing osprey. Got a few good shots. Not a lot of action, but I got some flight shots. I'm not sure how they're going to turn out. Now I'm just taking it easy here by this roadside pond just up from Flamingo Point and see if I can get some more wading birds. And the light, I'm kind of backlit. The subjects are going to be kind of backlit. But there's cloud cover which can subdue the light, so make it usable. So all right, we'll see what we can get. All at once I saw some commotion to my right as I was sitting quietly on the bank. I was able to capture this great egret skimming across the water. Once I was able to get a closer look, I saw this tiny minnow dangling from its bill. Then this double-crested cormorant decided to have catfish for breakfast and bit off a bit more than he could chew. He struggled and struggled to get the catfish down the pipe, all while being harassed by this juvenile. This went on for quite some time, and I never did see who won the battle, or if the fish ever ended up as breakfast. After all this action at the pond, I headed back to the general area I had visited the day before, however, with a plan to hit some of the trails I had skipped over due to lack of time. On my second stop, the trail led out to several boardwalks. At the end of one boardwalk, I came to a body of water full of lily pads. There, this purple gallinule was playing hopscotch across the pads, almost appearing to be walking on water. These swamp hens, as they are sometimes called, are among the most colorful birds that can be found in the Everglades. Glancing over to my right, I spotted a dark shape among the thick vegetation. This little gator was swimming ever so slowly through the lily pads, looking as if he did not want to be spotted. I left the boardwalk and started to make my way back to the trailhead, only to see this much bigger gator, with the front half of his body resting peacefully on the grass. I could not get a good angle to get a good composition, but wanted to get a close-up portrait of this apex predator. After spending several hours at several roadside trails, I headed back toward the Flamingo Point area to spend some more time at the Osprey nest, but also hoping to catch the sunset at the campground beach. As I drove, there were lots of dwarf cypress trees scattered throughout the tall grass on both sides of the road. In my mind, I spotted a million possible landscape compositions, but with my limited time I had to keep moving to ensure I made it to the beach for sunset. Several times I would see egrets and other birds in the tall grass and made up my mind that the next one that gave me the composition that I was envisioning, I would stop. Lucky for me, I was able to spot a potential shot. I quickly stopped the car, turned it off to avoid vibration, and poked my lens out the window to grab a few quick shots. Once I was able to review the photo, I added some effects in post-processing to give the image an ethereal glow to reflect what I was seeing in my mind's eye. Back at the Osprey nest, the light was very flat, but I managed to get this flight shot of the bird coming into land in the tree where the nest was located. While looking for a better angle of light on the ospreys, I saw this yellow-crowned night heron walking out from some brush. He paused for a pose as I quickly raised my camera to get a shot. I cautiously walked as to not to disturb the birds and eventually made it to the other side of the tree where the osprey couple was perched. The light was only a little bit better. Not the best photograph, but nonetheless I enjoyed capturing this amazing couple. The light of day began to dim as the sun began to lower on the horizon, but not before illuminating the clouds with some amazing colors. It was challenging to get a composition, but I settled on putting the osprey's home tree in the foreground, its branches seeming to be reaching out to the clouds to give them direction. Well, I'm back in my hotel after day 2 in the Everglades. I went back and shot the ospreys again and also tried to get a sunset. I'm not sure how that turned out. I'll have to wait till I get it on the computer and see what happens. I've run myself ragged the last 2 days, but it's a great type of exhaustion. I've just did a lot of driving, a lot of stopping, a lot of walking, and just trying to hit as much as I can while I'm here. I have one more day tomorrow. The weather's not looking good for the morning. They're calling for rain. Supposed to clear up tomorrow afternoon. I'm closer to the east side of Florida, so even though the afternoon is going to clear up, I probably won't get an opportunity to do another sunset. I could go back to the location I was today, which is you have a little bit of a western facing view, but it's not, you know, it's not a perfect shot. So but we'll see what happens. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed day 2 of the Everglades. I appreciate you watching, appreciate your support. Please give a thumbs up and subscribe if you liked the video, and don't forget to hit the bell notification to let you know when new videos are coming out. And that's all for today, and until next time, take care.